Today we're making Christmas cards. Super easy using the print and cut feature. I'm using my Cricut Joy Xtra, but you can use any of the Cricut machines that have the print and cut feature, so that would be all except for the Cricut Joy. This is super easy, guys. I'm going to give you the free stocking PNG file, which is this one right here. It says, "May your stockings be filled with love and laughter." But what I'm also going to show you how to do is to add a digital paper to your card, so you can have a cute little background on it if you want to. So we're using the Cricut Joy Xtra. You need a light grip mat, cardstock color of your choice. I've got a white here and then one that's kind of like a cream color. This right here is a white cardstock. This one says that it's bright white when I ordered it from Amazon, but it is not bright white. It's got more of a cream color. We've got our brayer, our bone tool. You don't have to have the bone tool. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a squeegee to help with your crease. But it's super simple, guys. I gave you 3 different little stocking. They're all the same, but they're just different colors. So this one's got more of the greens and they're labeled on the file. This one's called, I think, green and black or just greens. This one is a bright red, and then this one is more of a vintage feel. But you're just going to get the stockings, and if you want to add the digital papers in the back, that you can, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this tutorial. One more thing I want to mention, if you do have the Cricut Joy Xtra, I've seen a lot of people, and I was one of them, that was having problems with the mats curling. So I did find some inexpensive mats on Amazon that have worked great so far. So if you guys want to check those out, I'll be sure and leave the link to them on the blog post. But that's it. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple, easy Christmas card. I was getting ready to do on Christmas cards and realized I didn't have enough, so hey, let's just make our own. So we're going to click on New Project, and we're going to do Upload. Now, I already have mine uploaded, but I'm going to show you how you would do it. Upload, you can either do browse or you can drag and drop. And I am just going to come up here where I already have my cards. I've got 3 different ones for you guys. This vintage one is more of a muted color. There are some brighter reds, and then this one's got some greens in it. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm just going to drag and drop it. Hit complex, continue, apply and continue. Click on print and cut, and then upload. And that is this image right here. So I'm going to go back through and do the rest of them. Okay, now I'm going to select all 3 of these and I'm going to add them to my canvas. They're going to come in rather large, so we have to resize them. And I'm using my Cricut Joy Xtra, so make sure you have the machine that you're going to use selected. The only one that cannot do it is the Cricut Joy because it doesn't do print and cut features. So I'm going to go through, actually I can just probably line them all up here. And the size that I want, 6.75 is going to be my width. And I'm just going to move them over here. And you can see that they're basically the same, they're just slightly different in color. So this one's a brighter red with the red on the bottom. This one's got greens in it. The writing is black. And then this one is more of a vintage. It's all like this muted red right here. So whichever one is your style. I actually like this one the best, but you know, I had to be extra and give you guys all 3. So just depends on which one you like. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a shape. I'm just going to click on the square here. This is going to be the size of our card. Unlock this. This is going to be 6.75 by 9.25. And hit enter, and then lock it again. And I'm just going to change this to a guide for right now. And then I'm going to go back to my shapes, and I'm going to just pick this little score line right here. And I'm going to type in 6.75, hit enter, and you see how this little arrow turns to like a curve? We want to grab that, just hit your shift key, hold down your shift key, and turn. And as you rotate, it'll go in sections. So now you have it the way that you like it. Or you can click on it and come up here and just keep clicking rotate if you want. 90 degrees. Either way works. So I'm going to grab both of these, align, and center. So that way you know when you fold your card in half that this is going to be right here. Now I'm not going to leave this in here for my machine to score it or anything. I'm just leaving it in there so that when I line up my design, I know it's on the correct place on the card, so when I fold it, my design doesn't get folded in half. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and group this. And then I would bring my design over depending on whichever one I want to use. I think I'm going to do this one here. So you can see, let's go ahead and hide these because we're not using them right now. But you can see that's how it's going to line up. So now what I'm going to do is I want to use a digital paper on the back. I have found quite a few digital papers that would work, but the two that I'm going to show you, one of them is from a package. They're both from Creative Fabrica. One is from a package that you have to purchase unless you have the Creative Fabrica membership, then you can just download it for free. But I did find a free bundle of digital papers that you could use also. So I'm going to bring them both in. Same thing as we did before we uploaded. You can see I experimented with a few different ones here. These ones here I didn't really care for. They just didn't give the feel that I was going for. So to do your digital papers, you're going to do just like you uploaded your PNG. You can either browse it or you can go to your folder where you have it. And this one here I'm using, this is from Christmas Patterns by Iris Art Studio. And of course I'll leave the link in the blog post for that, but this is the one I'm using. I'm just going to drag it in. Again, I'm going to hit complex and click continue and then applying continue. You can upload this as a pattern fill as well, but I like doing it this way better because that way I can manipulate it and see how it's going to look. So let's go back and do the free one now. You can do it that way, or I'm going to go back and do it this way. I'm going to do drag and drop. I'm going to go back to where it was, Bright Christmas Tree Papers, and I'm going to upload these little dots here. Complex, continue, apply and continue. And then I'm going to add both of these to my canvas as well. Now these are going to come in super big, so you're going to have to resize them. It's going to give you the warning again. I'm going to back it up a little bit here, and I'm going to work with this one first. So let me hide this. Okay, so now what I want to do, this is why I like doing it this way instead of doing a pattern fill. Let me get back on my screen here. Did you know if you hold down your shift button, it'll turn to a little hand and then you can move your screen around? And I know Design Space likes to move things around, like when you bring an image in, sometimes it'll shift so you don't really know where it is. But if you hold down your shift button, your space bar, I mean, you can move your screen with your mouse. Okay, so anyway, just from doing this previously, I know that I had my digital paper sized to 15 point. I played with this quite a while to try and get it the correct way, the way that I thought it looked good. And this is the size that I use. So I'm going to send this to the back. Okay, and you got to keep in mind that when you're lining this up, this is the size of your paper, so you don't want it to go over top. So let me get this lined up again here. Do a line and then center, and I'm actually going to, I can leave it right there, but I'm actually going to send it down a little bit. Move my guide up about like there. Let me center it again, align and center horizontally, and then I'm going to group that. Okay, so now you just need to come over here and see what looks good for you. Obviously you wouldn't want to do it like this because you can't see the wording, but like I said up here, you need to pay attention to the top of your paper, because we're going to slice this out of this paper here. So just move it around, you know, what looks good for you. I'm trying to remember where I had mine so that it looked decent, where you could see the wording and covered up a couple spaces. But just move it to what looks good for you. Pretty sure I had that little star right in there, so let me see. You may have to resize your paper. Okay, I think that looks good right there. So what you see in the square, that's actually going to be your card. Now, like I said, you can move it around however you like. But now we're going to come back over here and we're going to ungroup this. Okay. That line right there, I'm going to delete that line. I don't need that. This square, I'm going to come back up here to guide, and I'm going to change this to a basic cut so it turns black. Then I want to click that, and I want to hit my shift button and click the paper. Now come down here, click slice. You can delete this paper, you can delete this, and you can send this to the back. Okay, and now you have your card. Come down and click flatten. So now this is all going to print together. This is going to cut just like this, and then you just fold it in half for a card. Okay, so that's one. Let me unhide these. If you click on these, if you double click on it, it'll tell you which one it is. This is the brighter reds one. This one is the greens and black. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the brighter red one. Hide this one. And I'm going to bring in those dots. This is from the free paper. Okay, and then this one I'm going to size to, you can leave this locked so it'll stay uniform. 13.43. And send this to the back. And bring those shapes in again. Unlock this, 6.75. Hit your tab button and it'll jump over. 9.25. Hit enter and then lock it. And we're going to change this to a guide. And move this out of the way here. Oh, let me bring in that line again. 6.75. Rotate it 90. Okay, grab these two, align and center. All right, let's go ahead and group that so we remember. And then whatever looks good for you here, align and center horizontally. Okay, and group that. So now we can come through and do the same thing with this. Whatever size looks good for you. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. Just keep in mind that you don't want to cover up your wording here. So I thought it was kind of cute to have the dots connected, like the little red dots where the stockings are hung, but you can do it however you like. You don't want all those dots to show so much. You can move your wording around. But again, just remember, don't cover up your words. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller. I think that looks cute. Okay, so now we're going to come back up here, right click and ungroup, or you can come up here and ungroup. Let's get rid of that line, we don't need that. Click on the square, turn this to a basic cut. Click on that, hit your shift button, click on the back paper, and slice. And then you can delete that, delete this, send to the back, hide all of it, or grab all of it I should say, and then hit flatten. You want to make sure that you hit flatten, because if you don't, your machine's going to try and cut all this out of here. Okay, let's go ahead and move back here. We need to delete this. This is what this warning is here. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and print two cards. These are the two cards that we're going to do. First, I want to save it. Okay. And like I said, I'm using my Cricut Joy Xtra, so these are now saved. We're going to click Make It. And this is going to be your print and cut. This is going to print out, and it's going to show these little black lines. Those are your registration marks. Same with this one here. But I'm going to go through and print both of these, and then I'm going to cut them. So with this one here, I'm going to do this one on the paper when you order it. If you order from Amazon, just be aware that this paper that I'm listing, it says that it's white paper, and it's not. It's more of a cream color. Whereas this one, again, on my listing on my blog, I will show you that this one here is a bright white paper. This one is actually white. So this one I'm going to do on a cream colored, and this one I'm going to do on white. So let's go ahead and hit continue. You want to click send to printer. I'm going to turn my bleed off. Make sure that your correct printer is selected. My bleed is off. Use system dialog, and depending on what your computer looks like, what your screen looks like, sometimes the system dialog will pop up behind your screen. Mine lands over here, so I don't have to worry about it, but I've heard that other people have had issues with it coming behind their screen. So click print, and this little box is going to pop up here. Again, make sure the correct printer is selected. Preferences, and all I'm going to do is go to where it says more settings, and I'm going to click it to high. So whatever your printer settings are, I just leave mine on plain paper, and I want to make sure that it's the best quality or high quality. However, you need to adjust yours, but this is what mine looks like. Click OK, and then click Print. Okay, and we are going to cut this on medium cardstock. So after my paper is done printing, I'm actually not going to cut it just yet. When this one gets done printing, I'm going to go to my second one. I'm going to print that out, and then I'll have both of them, and then I'll show you how we can cut them. Okay, the first one has printed. I'm going to come click on this one over here, send this to printer. And a little tip, if you guys didn't know this, that you can actually do multiple copies. You can do more than one. But I'm going to do like I did before. Make sure my printer is selected. Do some dialogue. Preferences. White paper. High. OK. And print. Now this one's going to print also. Now when you go to cut it with your Cricut machine, obviously with this one probably isn't going to matter most because they're actually really the same, but you want to make sure that you have the correct one selected. So if you want to cut this one first, make sure that you have clicked on this one and then you click your material that you're going to use. Like for this one I'm going to do medium cardstock, and since I am using the Cricut Joy Xtra, I have to put my paper on my mat. I'm going to use my brayer to push it down, and then I have to load it into my machine so that it can read the registration marks, and then it'll read it that way. But you do have to come back to your computer to click go. Alright, these are our two prints. These are your registration marks. This is the one I'm going to cut first. So you just want to line it right up on your mat. Push it down. I do like to wait after I print it. I like to wait just a few seconds to make sure that this is completely dry. I don't want to take a chance of having any ink smeared. Okay, now you want to feed it into your machine. And the Cricut Joy is going to make sure that your mat is lined up correctly. And once it reads that, you have to walk back to your computer and click go for it to actually read the registration marks and cut out your card. Pull this out. We want to flip this over. Move this over here. Flip this over and then roll your cardstock off of your mat so it does not curl. Okay, get my other one cut out. Load this one. Same thing as before, just pull it off. Alright, and then you just fold it in half. This is just a bone tool. Actually, it's a really old Cricut bone tool that I got when I bought my machine. I have linked other bone tools on my website, so if you need one, but obviously you don't have to have one. You can just fold it in half with your finger. You can use a squeegee on the end of it. You're just trying to get a crease on there. But those are the two cards. And I did do the other ones. If you can see the subtle differences here, this is the one that has the brighter red. And this is the one that's like more of a vintage. This is on the white paper, this one's on the cream. This one I did, it's the vintage one with on white paper with no digital paper, so you obviously can do them just like this as well. There's that one. This one's got more of the greens. I did it on the cream paper, and it's got the black writing on there, but you can see when you fold it in half, you can still see your design. But like I said, it's super simple, guys. This is a really easy way to get Christmas cards made. And now I've got my cards, and I'm going to go ahead and get them printed out. These will fit in regular envelopes for your Christmas cards. This envelope's a little bit bigger. But there you go. Super simple project for you guys. Get these cards made. You can use digital papers with so many different things. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, you can find the free download in the freebie library. It is design number 185. If you guys make them, if you decide to make some Christmas cards, I would love to see them. Make sure you show them off in the Facebook group because you know I love seeing what you guys make. Have some fun, change it up. I'd love to see what you guys do. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.